Hello, assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? I hope all of you fine and safe by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today I will take your science class. Dear student, before starting today's class, I want to introduce myself. I am Hafiza Khatun Konika, Department of Physics, Senior Teacher, Milestone School and College, Sector 4 Branch, Uttara, Dhaka. Students, so let's start today's class. Class 6, Chapter 7. Chapter name is Properties of Matter and Effects. Today I will discuss books creative. And today's lecture is CW number 12. Students, please keep your books with you and take a pen and copy so that you can write the information in your copy, okay? Okay, let's start today's class. Students, you already finished this chapter, right? Today, I will discuss two creative questions with you. Before starting creative question, you should review the whole chapter. Now, I will review the whole chapter before starting creative question, okay? So, students, can you remember what you learned from this chapter? From this chapter, you learn about matter and the state of matter. Then you learn about metal, non-metal, heat capacity and many other things. So students, now can you tell me what is matter? Things which have mass and which occupies space are matters, right? And matter are three states. They are solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. Students, now can you tell me about solid state or characteristics of solid state? Can you remember? Solid has a definite size, volume and rigidity, right? And although there is a definite volume of a liquid and it has no definite size and rigidity. Now can you tell me the characteristics of vapor? Vapor or gas has none of these definite size and volume or rigidity. Students, you also learn from this chapter about metal and non-metal. Fundamental matters are of two types of metals and non-metals. Metals are generally shiny, right? And they conduct heat and electricity. And they can create sound when they struck. Then non-metal. Non-metals do not generally glitter. They do not conduct heat and electricity. Okay? The temperature at which a solid begins to melt is known as melting point. And the melting point and freezing point of a substance is the same. Then the temperature at which a liquid begins to vaporize is called the boiling point of the liquid. Students, now can you tell me about what is melting point and what is boiling point? The temperature which a solid begins to melt is known as melting point. I repeat it. And then boiling point. I think now you can write the answer of boiling point. So students, now I will ask you some question from this chapter. Students who can give me the answer is really good. But who can't, no problem. Miss will give you the answer also. Question number 1. What is called matter? I know that you answer. A thing which has a certain mass and which occupies a certain space is called matter, right? Question number 2. What is called boiling point of water? Students, can you tell me the answer? What is called boiling point of water? The temperature at which water begins to vaporize is called boiling point of water. What I said? The temperature at which water starts boil, that point will be called boiling point of water. Now, question number 3. What is called melting point? The temperature at which a solid substance begins to melt is known as its melting point. Now, I think you can write the answer of this question. What is called melting point? Now, next question for you. Question number 4. Mention the common features of metal. Students, you know that the common features of metals are conductivity, rigidity, flexibility, density. Okay? So what I said? Conductivity. Number 2, rigidity, flexibility and density. Okay? Next question for you. Question number 5. What is the main difference between metals and non-metals? Students, can you tell me the answer? I think all of you know the answer. You know that metals are substances which conduct electricity and heat, and on the other hand, non-metals are substances which do not conduct heat and electricity. So what I said? Metals has metals are substances which conduct electricity and heat, and on the other hand, non-metals do not conduct heat and electricity. Now next question. Question number 6. Mention some properties of liquid. Students, you already know the properties of liquid. A liquid has no definite size, but it has definite volume. A liquid has no rigidity or shape. Question number 8. What are the main difference among solid, liquid and gaseous substance? Main difference among solid, liquid and gaseous substance. Solid substance have definite size and shape, but neither liquid nor gaseous substance have definite size or shape. Then next, solid has definite volume, but gaseous have no definite volume, but liquid has definite volume. Okay. Then number 3, solid substance have rigidity and flexibility, but liquid and gaseous substance do not have any rigidity or flexibility. So students, I already review the whole chapter. I think now you can remember the whole topics which included in this chapter. Okay. Now I will discuss 2 creatives with you. So please be attentive. Okay. Creative question 1. And here you can see the question in board. Mr. Fazlul Haq's mother uses an earthen oven and clay pots to cook meals. On the other hand, his wife uses a gas oven and cooks in an aluminium pan. Question number A. What is matter? Question number B. What does non-metal means? Question number C. Explain the significance of the elements of the utensils used by Mr. Fazlul Huq's wife and his mother. Then last question, question number D. Who gets more advantage while cooking meals? Mr. Fazlul Huq's mother or his wife? Analyze. Okay. So students, when you will write the answer of this question, for question number A, you have to write the definition of matter. Then for question number B, the question is what does non-metal means? Here you have to write the answer like what is non-metal and what do you mean by non-metal. And first of all you have to write the definition of non-metal and then you can write the characteristics of non-metal. Okay. Then question number C, you can see the question, explain the significance of the elements of metal, and you have to write the significance of non-metal. Okay, because Fazlul Huq's mother used non-metal type things and his wife used metal type things. So you have to write significance of the metal and also significance of non-metal. Okay. Then next question, question number D. Who gets more advantage while cooking meals? Mr. Fazlul Huq's mother or his wife? So students, you know that metal and non-metal. Metal is if we use metal things, it is more advantage from non-metal. So here you have to write like why we should use metal based things for cooking. Okay, so I already discussed the creative question. Now I will tell you the answer. Okay students, what was our question number A? What is matter, right? Here you can see the definition of matter. A matter is a substance having a certain weight and a certain volume. That means every matter occupies volume and every matter have definite shape. Okay, and every matter have weight. Okay, so that means you can write like this: a matter is a substance having a certain weight and a certain volume. Then question number B. Our question was, what do you mean by non-metal? Okay, non-metals refer to matters having no firmness, like they are always non-conductors of heat and electricity, and their melting point and boiling point are always lower than metals. Then question number C. Question was, explain the significance of the elements of the utensils used by Mr. Fazlul Huq's wife and mother. So students, according to the STEM, Mr. Fazlul Huq's mother uses an earthen oven and clay pots for cooking food. On the other hand, his wife uses a gas oven and an aluminium pan for the purpose of cooking food. We know that metals are very good conductors of heat, whereas clay is a bad conductor of heat. Besides, there is an scope of missing heat while cooking food in an earthen oven, but there is less scope of missing heat in the care of using a gas oven. For all these reasons stated above, Mr. Fazlul Huq's mother takes more fuel and time than that of his wife to cook food, and due to difference of nature of elements of the utensils used by his mother and his wife. Then our next question, question number D. Who gets more advantage between Mr. Fazlul Haq's wife and his mother? According to STEM, Mr. Fazlul Haq's wife uses aluminium pots, and on the other hand his mother uses earthen pots for cooking food. We know aluminium is a metal, so it is a good conductor of heat, and on the other hand his mother uses earthen pots which are bad conductor of heat. Moreover, a gas oven produces more heat than an earthen oven does. For all these reasons stated above, Mr. Fazlul Haq's wife will get more advantages than his mother while cooking food. Students, now I will discuss one more creative question, and this question is also from your book, okay? In board you can see a figure. In this figure you can see three parts: X, Y and Z. Students, what do you think? What is X here? What is Y and what is Z? Yes, your thinking is right. Here X means solid, Y means liquid and Z means gaseous or vapor form. Okay. Now here is the question. Question number A. What is boiling point? Question number B. What do you mean by thermal conductivity? Question number B. What do you mean by thermal conductivity? Question number C. How the substance shown in figure X can be converted into the substance shown in figure Z, and you have to explain it, okay? Then next question, question number D. Analyze that the materials shown in all the three figures are made of the same matter. So students, now I will discuss this creative question. Our first question was, what is boiling point? Here you have to write the definition of boiling point. Then next question, what do you mean by thermal conductivity? For here you can write the definition of thermal conductivity, and then you can write what are the process by using that process electricity can pass. That means, what do you mean by thermal conductivity? You have to, first of all you have to write the definition, then you have to write about the process. Okay, question number B. What do you mean by thermal conductivity? Students, here first of all you can write the definition of thermal conductivity. Then you can write the process about thermal conductivity. That students, here you can write the definition of thermal conductivity. Then you can write the process by using which process heat can pass. Okay. Then next question, how the substance shown in figure X can be converted into the substance shown in figure Z. Explain. You also know that here figure X means solid matter, right? For the answer of question number C, you have to write like here figure X is solid matter, then how solid can converted into Z, that means vapor. Okay. Then question number D. Analyze that the materials shown in all the three figures are made of the same matter. Students, you know that liquid can stay into solid matter and also you can convert it into vapor. Okay, so here you have to write the answer, like how can you convert liquid to solid and how can you convert liquid to gaseous form. Okay, now I will tell you the answer of this question. Question number A. What was our question? What is boiling point? The temperature at which a liquid boils is its boiling point. Okay. Then question number B. What was our question? What do you mean by thermal conductivity? Here, first of all, you have to write the definition. Heat can move from one place to another in three ways: conduction, convection and radiation. And through a solid body or metal, heat passes in the process of conduction, and this is called thermal conductivity. The next question, how the substance shown in figure X can be converted into the substance shown in figure Z. You have to explain it. It is evident from the figure that X represents an ice block, the solid state of water, whereas Y represents its liquid state. With the application of heat, solid state of water turns into its liquid state at a particular temperature. The ice block will also melt and turn into water even if it is kept in room temperature for a certain period of time. Okay, then next question. Analyze that the materials shown in all the three figures are made of the same matter. Students, from figure you can see that X, Y and Z denote solid, liquid and gaseous states of a substance respectively. Here X represents an ice block, that is the solid state of water. Y represents the normal state of water and Z represents gaseous form of water. So it can be said that X, Y and Z are nothing but the three states of water, because the chemical formula of ice, water and water vapor is the same. And do you know what it is? It is H2O. Okay students, so I discussed two creative questions with you. Now please practice these two creative questions in your home. Now I will show you a video on this chapter and I hope all of you will enjoy this video. Okay, so please watch this video.
Matter, solid, liquid and gas. If you look around your classroom, you will see many things such as tables, chairs, bags, books, pencils, doors, boys, girls, teachers, fans, etc. around you. Even though we cannot see air, it is present all around us. All these things are called matter. Everything around you is matter. Anything that occupies space and has weight is matter. Matter is made up of many substances. Even the air around us is a mixture of many gases. Matter is made up of very tiny particles called molecules. Molecules are so small that we cannot see them with our eyes. States of matter. The three states of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. Solid. Touch a book, a pen, or a stone. All of them are hard. They are called solid objects. Solids are usually hard because their molecules are packed together very closely and tightly. A solid has a fixed volume and shape. Liquid. Another state of matter is liquid. You drink water, milk, and juice. All of them are liquids. You cannot hold them in your hand like solids. They do not have a fixed shape. They take the shape of the container in which they are kept. If you pour some water into a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. They can flow. In liquids, the molecules are loosely packed and have space between them. The molecules can move around a little freely. Liquids have a fixed volume. 1 liter of water will remain 1 liter, whether you pour it in a tub or in a bucket. Gas. Have you seen steam coming out from the spout of a kettle? Steam is a gas. It has no fixed shape or volume. The air around you is also a gas. If you light an agarbatti in one corner of a room, the fragrance of the agarbatti spreads quickly all over the room because the molecules of gas are quite loosely packed. They can move freely and can flow easily. The molecules of a gas have much greater spaces between them. They are not closely packed together and they spread out in all directions. They occupy space. If you fill air into your bicycle tube, it occupies the space available inside the tube. Gas does not have a fixed shape or volume. Interchanging states of matter. Matter can change its state. Take out few ice, solid cubes from your fridge and put them in a pot. Leave the ice cubes for a few minutes. It converts into water, liquid. Now boil this water, liquid. After a few minutes, the water converts into steam, gas. Thus, a solid can be converted into a liquid and liquid into a gas. Similarly, a gas can also be converted into a liquid and a liquid can be converted into a solid. You have already learned that water vapor, gas, can be condensed to form a liquid, water, and on further cooling, it freezes to form a solid, ice. So, matter can be changed from one state to another by heating or cooling. Know this. The particles in a solid are packed tightly. The particles in a liquid can move around and slide past each other.
So students, thank you so much for watching this video. I think after watching this video, all of your confusion, or if you have any question, you will get all the answer from this video. And I think now your preparation will be the best on this chapter. Okay, so please practice these 2 creative questions in your home, and if you have any question, you can ask your respective teachers also. Now I will give you your homework, and your homework is please learn these 2 creative questions and practice it in your home. Okay, so dear students, Thank you so much for joining. See you soon. Till then, stay home, be safe. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.